Next, an annual fundraising gala had to be postponed earlier this year. But as Development Director Chris O'Connor tells us, Equality Maine has found a fun and innovative way to celebrate. So for anyone who doesn't know, Chris, what is Equality Maine?
Equality Maine is the state's leading and longest existing LGBT rights and advocacy organization. And we were founded in 1984 at a time when in the Bangor community, we had just lost a young gay man named Charlie Howard, who was murdered by several younger folks in the Bangor community who had come across Charlie and one of his friends and pushed him over a bridge in downtown Bangor because he was gay. At the time, folks in the Bangor community and in coordination with folks across the state started organizing really in response to Charlie's murder, saying that enough is enough. We've got to stand up for the LGBT community. And so at that point, the Maine Lesbian Gay Political Alliance was formed, which is the predecessor organization for Equality Maine. So we've been working on behalf of full equality for every LGBTQ plus person in our state since 1984.
I remember when that happened and how little really was known about the LGBTQ community by a lot of people. I would think that education is a big part of what you do.
Absolutely. Education is really at the core of our focus right now. While we do a significant amount of advocacy work in Augusta, the core focus of our work is community education and making sure that folks know and understand that the LGBTQ plus community is amongst them in their neighborhoods, at work, at their banks and their churches, and that we are here and we are the same as everyone else, that we deserve the same rights, that we deserve the same amount of respect, the same access to public accommodation, and really the same amount of love that everyone else experiences in their everyday life. You know, under the current administration in D.C., we've seen such a drastic uptick in acts of hate and incivility against our community, and we've just seen an absolute increase in the number of requests that we get to come in and help businesses, organizations, schools, groups of parents to help them be better advocates for LGBTQ plus people in their lives and really helping us do the work of creating safer and more inclusive communities.
So for businesses or schools or anyone who's interested in having someone from Equality Maine come and spread the message and educate their employees or their students, how do they go about doing that?
Our website is the best resource in terms of getting a little bit more information about the trainings that we do. And the website is equalitymaine.org. Folks can also call our offices. While we're not physically in our offices right now, we are still checking our voicemail. And the number for our office is 207-761-3732. Facebook, they can find us there too.
Oh, on Facebook, absolutely. Okay. And that kind of leads into my next question. You said that you're not in your offices. How has the pandemic affected your organization?
I think it's probably the most common thing that we as a general community in Maine and across the country have all experienced is it forced us in the midst of one of our busiest times of the year to take a second and realize, all right, how do we take our work and reconnect with folks and keep folks connected, realizing that particularly in a time of social isolation, where that's already a major issue for the LGBTQ plus community in general, particularly in more rural parts of the state, connection to resources, connection to community is so critical. And so for us, we actually, I think it was the day that the governor put our state of emergency into effect, and we were about 3.5 weeks out from our annual gala, which is our largest fundraising event of the year.
Right.
And so we had to postpone that event. And so we kind of, as with everyone, it's kind of like, you're driving down the highway full speed and you've got the, where you're going in sight, and then you have to hit on your brakes and reset your GPS and figure out, okay, how do we do this? And, for us, particularly in the LGBTQ plus community, we have experienced lots of roadblocks in our progress towards a more just and fair world for all of us. And so we think about the amount of resiliency that our community has built up. We're a resilient people. And so for us, it was really about harnessing that energy, harnessing our community, and keeping forward progress and making sure that folks know we were there for them. More importantly, that they are there for each other.
Right.
So we did a bunch of stuff to kind of jump into the virtual world. We launched a weekly series called Zoom In with Equality Maine that we did a quick half-hour session with folks just to give people a chance to connect and see faces and still move forward with some of the programming work that we were doing. Every summer we run, it's called the New Leaders Project, and it's a week-long overnight camp for LGBTQ plus youth And obviously that wasn't happening this summer, but that didn't stop us. And we held camp virtually via Zoom. And we had a bunch of young people from across the state participate. One of the great things about the virtual world is that it allows us to connect to folks that maybe couldn't get to where camp was last year.
Right.
Or maybe couldn't come to an event. And we did all of our Pride Month events in June virtually. And we saw and met people that had never been connected to our events before because they live, up in the county and haven't been able to get somewhere. And so there have been some silver linings.
So you were talking about how you were headed full speed toward your gala and roadblock, but you have it coming up. What have you done to adapt the gala this year?
Yeah, we're excited. The gala is our biggest physical event. It's our biggest fundraising event of our year, and it's really the most important annual celebration and tradition for Equality Maine. We normally have gathered in the ballroom at the Holiday Inn and had over 700 folks sit down and celebrate the achievements of the past year, reinvigorate for the work that lies ahead, celebrate some community leaders that are doing powerful work in our community. And so for us, obviously, safety is of the utmost importance, and so following the public gathering guidelines back in March and April is extremely important to us. And it's taken a little bit of time for us to figure out, but we were really committed to make sure that we did not want our community to miss out on the celebration that is the gala. And so we've really reinvigorated the event and reconceptualized the event to go all virtual. And so on October 3rd, we're going to go live. One of the things that's really exciting, we have our host committee reception via Zoom with Governor Mills and Congresswoman Pingree will be joining us. And we're going to do a pre-gala toast together via Zoom, which will be exciting. We're then going to go live on our virtual red carpet, and we're encouraging folks to get dressed up at home and actually make a really special evening out of it. And so we have restaurants around the state that are partnering with us, and so we're encouraging folks to support local businesses that have been really hit hard by the pandemic, and so ordering takeout and having a nice dinner at home with their folks. We've encouraged folks to host within the family social bubble, to host a small watch party. And then we're going to encourage people to post selfies, and so we'll actually have an Instagram virtual red carpet. We have a local drag performer named Clams Casino who is going to be interacting with folks live on our feed that will bring up and do some fashion commentary just like the Oscars. And then the actual main event starts at 6 o'clock. So that live red carpet is at 5:30. 6 o'clock, the actual event will start. And we have two members of the Maine Gay Men's Chorus serving as our MCs for the night. We're going to be live in a studio in Yarmouth. We have some special guests, Governor Mills, Congresswoman Pingree, Congressman Golden, and we're really, really excited that U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin from Wisconsin is going to be joining us for the gala, as she is the first out-elected congressperson and U.S. Senator in history. And so she's joining us particularly to talk about the importance of this upcoming election on our community. Okay. And you also have an online auction, right? We do. Starting on Wednesday, the 30th, our auction will go live until Monday, October 5th. And we've got a really wide array of experiences and gift tickets to local restaurants and some special virtual experiences. The owner and main chef at Gross Confectioner's Bar is going to be auctioning off a pastry class that he'll join you via Zoom in your kitchen, and you can take kind of a master class with a pastry chef. Nice. So tickets are free for this, right? Yeah, tickets are free. It's open to everyone. So we're asking folks to register in advance at equalitymaine.org/gala, and that's GALA. And if folks forget to register, we'll be live on Facebook as well that night. Okay. And do folks need to register for the gala in order to take part in the auction? They will get kind of the first access. Probably on day 2, we're going to actually post the auction live and open it up to folks. All right. We encourage folks to bid high and bid often. Find more information at equalitymaine.org or on the organization's Facebook page. I'm Cindy Campbell. Thanks again for joining us, and stay healthy.
Join us again next weekend for Maine Concerns with your Townsquare Media News team.